Morning, everybody. Well, there was condensation on the window this morning, which only happens when there's a freeze at night. So I come out here, it's 53 degrees right now, it's warming up fast. There's a little bit of a tint to the grass, a little whitish tint here. So I got down here and looked. Sure enough, there's little hairy fibers on the grass. You see that? Frost. Does that show up? It froze last night. It froze last night. I don't know what the damages will be like in the garden till we get out there and looking around and the sun warms it up. I'm praying it doesn't harm the garden. So we had a frost. I've been checking the weather heavily, and it was not going to be in the low 40s, which would be 30s here, according to the weather app. So I did not see this coming. Usually if it's going to be 42, it's going to be 32 here. And I did not see this coming. Not this late in the year. Last year we had 9 freezing summer nights, but that was in beginning of June, throughout May, the beginning of June, and I think it was 1 in August and some in September. So we'll see how it looks. There's a white tint to the lawn out here. In the shade, it's all frozen. So again, I just have to wait and see what happens after sunrise. But there's a really hard frost. I mean, it's a good frost. See that? We'll check it out in a little bit. Out in the garden, we did get a freeze. There's ice on the plants. It is. They did get frost on them. Right here. I don't know if that shows. That's frost. It's covered in frost. Oh. Well, I hope they're not going to be killed. I won't know until it thaws out and the sun warms them up. The peas will be okay. Potatoes are sensitive to frost. They were growing good. Well, I hope nothing's harmed. Again, I won't know until later. Our pumpkin was doing well. Starting to grow. Everything's starting to grow. I won't know until, yeah, it's covered in frost. Oh, I hope they're not killed. Well, we'll come back after it's warm and see what the damage is, if anything. Well, I'm praying there's no damage. I do check the weather continuously throughout the day now. There's our corn starting to grow. And there was no warning of this for tonight, for last night. It's starting to melt here. There's some ice. Yeah, it was supposed to be like mid to high 40s last night. Melanie salvaged these tires, and I have to admit I wasn't exactly excited about the idea, but she's been wanting to do this. Hi, Melanie. So we went and got her some flowers, and she's making raised flower beds. She painted them, drilled holes in the bottom for drainage, painted them, and she's putting her flowers inside. We got one on each side of the driveway here, one over here, and there's a little one over here, which I think she still has to do. Yeah, she's still got to do this one here. So that's Melanie's thing. I guess it'll look pretty once it's filled up and growing. And we're using the soil that we brought over last year, those 21 truckloads. Very fertile stuff. So they should grow well in here. I guess it's perfect for flowers. We got some flowers for the hanging basket as well, some petunias. So she put that in there. Now we've got both hanging baskets filled on either side of the driveway. Well, it looks like our garden has survived. And Melanie went and made these really cool, beautiful, well done markers. She wood burnt different patterns into the letters. She did this all on her own. This was her idea. She painted them. And there's Potato. She really has some talent. It took a lot of time on these. This is her thing. This is what she wanted to do. Corn. She did corn here. And over there we got tomatoes in the other bed. A sign she made. It looks like everything's doing fine. The corn is really growing. It's about hand height. This is the purple corn. This is actually doing better than the corn I put by the road. But I figured, because for one, this area had been fertilized last year. It's in the composted soil. It's aged a little bit. And also because it's wet. It's not in the it's not as hot over here as it is by the road in the baking sun. So over here we've got potatoes growing down this row, and we've got different kinds of beans that she's planted, and here we got kale she's transplanted over there, and some peas. There's peas at the end of that row. And in here we've got our different melon. Oh, these we just bought, summer squash. We had no summer squash, so we picked them up the other day. Those we needed, because it's too late to plant from seed now. We might be able to do a second planting of our own, but we want to have some now. Oh, here's a tomato. I should put a stake by it. We'll let him grow up on his own. There's a few random tomatoes that grew here on their own. And in here from the end of the corn bed is more potatoes. And then we've got our plants are finally starting to take off here. So, different Kirby's family plants. Looks like they're all going to survive. Here we've got kale, mustard greens, cabbages I think, and she's got radishes she thinks somewhere. Looks like Swiss chard, I'm not sure. No, that's something else. That's got to be the radishes, I think. Well, I don't know, because here's Swiss chard. Maybe that's lettuce. Here we've got different types of peas and beans, all started from seed. There's her tomato sign. And that's just the beginning of the row of tomatoes, which are starting to recover. They were stunted from the transplant shock, I guess, and from the intense heat. And we just had a couple days of rain, which helped. So they're recovering. And the peppers are still small, but they're starting to recover and show a little bit of growth. Now I'm going to put some Epsom salts down in here and some fertilizer today. Here it looks like we've got some Swiss chard growing. We got our herbs from last year growing. And over here some catmint. Our chives are done flowering, growing well. And our flowers are just about to come out, whatever they are. Those are the ones we got for free when we first moved here. I have to fertilize the lettuce bed because it's not doing anything. Oddly, the oak trees that planted themselves here, how did an oak tree get here under pine trees? I don't know, but they're growing, although nothing else is. So I definitely got to get some organic fertilizer in here. It rained all weekend, so I put some tubs under the back of the greenhouse. I used 2 over here, but I collected a decent amount of water altogether under the overhang of the roof of the greenhouse. So I had 5 tubs to collect rainwater off that roof. Now, I put it in at the end of the rain. I had thought a little bit late, but it was water running off, and it was free water for the garden. Here's what's left of another, and I emptied another wash in the gravel for the aquaponics bed, which I'll show you in a minute. And right off the peak of the trailer, I collected another entire tub. That's about 11 gallons. No, that's more than that. It's probably 20 gallons. So there's a nice amount of water. I filled the aquaponics grow bed, finally. After washing the gravel, we sifted some more gravel in over by the hole for the future greenhouse, and filtered out the sand to get the gravel, and then I washed it with the rainwater. I used 1.5 of those containers of rainwater, and then I brought it in here, and now we have a functioning aquaponics setup. Oh, it did introduce some cloudiness. I didn't know if that would or not. Just that little bit of gravel did introduce some dirt and cloudiness. Well, it'll clear out soon enough, I guess. Perfect temperature, 70-72 degrees. There's a thermometer strip on there. Well, I was going to show you the fish. I did get some fish in there. I don't know if you can see it. He's running away. Anyway, there are some minnows in the tank that I was going to show you just now. Probably about 2 dozen minnows that I brought home. These are common fishing minnows, fish bait minnows, and we'll use these for now for the aquaponics and get the system established.